Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. And today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about a brand new fantasy horror film called Mother Superior. This film is now premiering on the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival, so let's just not waste any time and let's just get right into the review. A nurse and her eccentric patient are bound together by a shared longing. The old lady's memory contains the secret to Sigrun's past. The young woman's life force holds the key to the future for the Baroness. The film stars Isabella Handler, Inge Mux, Jochen Nickel, Tim Wurst, and was directed by Marie Alice Wolfsing. Mother Superior, it starts off with showing the camera actually zoomed into this table. It's showing a lot of different items, and we see a newspaper clipping, and it talks about feminist reform and this whole movement clause that really help females actually get a little bit more respect. And we actually get shown a small screen TV, which shows a woman, and she's sitting at a table, and she's getting asked a bunch of questions, and she's a witness to something. And it starts off in that mystery kind of aspect. And as we go into this film, we get to learn about this woman named Sigrun. She actually worked for this Baroness woman, and she is posing as a nurse. And when she's actually in this actual house that she's in, which it's a really big mansion and has a really good setting with that mansion. I like the different colors that they have here. I like the camera work and the cinematography. They do a really good job with the shadowing and the different lighting that they use throughout this film. We get to actually see this woman named Sigrun on screen, and we get to see her within a TV and actually doing the interviewing, and we get to see that throughout the film, different flashbacks and different things that we get to actually see the story actually unfold and how Sigrun actually got into this whole predicament. Now with Sigrun, there is actual reason why she is actually in this predicament, and we get to learn about that. We get to learn more about her character, learn about her family life, and where she really came from. And we get to learn about the Baroness a little bit. She is very selfish. Obviously, she's rich. We learn that she has Parkinson's disease, and this is why Sigrun is actually taking care of the Baroness. But the Baroness has a lot of different rules. She doesn't want Sigrun to be going out and buying supplies. When they eat certain meats, they can only eat it on certain days, and they can only eat meat that they actually kill themselves. And if Sigrun actually needs anything, then she would have to go to the actual guy named Otto, who actually looks over the Baroness property and does cooking and does other things amongst the actual mansion to help it keep running. And I really did like learning about both of these characters. They're obviously complete opposites. I really did like seeing how Sigrun, how everything really unfolds with her character. And I like that we have this creepy atmosphere. I like the music in this. It's kind of eerie at times. It feels like mystery music a little bit, but then at times there is this whole eerie kind of feeling that you really do feel, and they do a really good job of having that eerie feeling with the music while also having the lighting and the shadowing really feel like it's an actual horror movie. But I would say this is really kind of a cross between a horror movie. It has a little bit of fantasy elements to it, but there are also elements to this film that makes it really much a darker film. But I don't really think they pushed the boundaries enough for that darkness in this film. I think they could have did a lot more for what is actually revealed in this film. I think they talk about it and we get to hear about it and we get to see a little bit about it and get to see different visuals about this whole darkness surrounding this whole household. The biggest thing that was kind of a letdown for me is the ending a little bit. I think because they don't push enough with this darkness that is unfolding upon in this mansion, it doesn't really come off as a lot of emotional kind of impact for me. It feels like it's going to be a really big reveal. It's going to be kind of shocking. But in a sense, it's not really shocking because it's foreshadowed a lot throughout this film. And not to say that that's necessarily bad, but when you have most of this stuff actually being foreshadowed and you have things like darkness unfolding, and you can't really capitalize on too many creepy elements. Like, there's no jump scares in this film. It's not one of those kind of films. It has those darker elements that really surrounds the Baroness and what she's actually doing and what her actual plan is. But at the same time, I just don't feel like it's executed to the fully potential that it could be. And I know with that explanation, it may seem a little bit vague what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying not to give away what the actual reveal of this film is. Even though the Baroness, I wasn't really much of a fan of what they really did with the reveal with her character, and it felt a little meh, a little bit kind of lame to me a little bit. I wanted a little bit more out of that whole aspect with the Baroness. But I think overall with this film for me, it's an alright watch. It's only 68 minutes. I think it could have used a little bit more stretching out with certain things. I think that it could have used maybe a little bit more scarier kind of moments in the film, because it's one of those films where it plays off kind of as a mystery film, but then using those darker elements to make it a horror film and having the eerie music on top of it with a really good setting and some pretty good camera work as well. I think that they could have pushed the film a little bit more, and that's why I'm going to give a score of this film a 2.5 out of 5. It's an alright film at best. I think it could have been a little bit better than what it was, but overall for me, for a 68-minute film, I enjoyed myself for the most part with this film. I just wanted a little bit more out of it. But thank you guys for watching this review, and I'll see you guys on my next review.